15 luxury brands so exclusive even millionaires can't get in. The secret world of quiet wealth. Imagine walking into a store where a single jacket costs more than your car. Not a sports car, your entire car. Maybe even your neighbor's car too. Now imagine that the sales associate looks at you, smiles politely, and says, "Sorry, we're not accepting new clients right now." Welcome to the strange universe of ultra luxury, a world where owning a Lamborghini is considered normal, a world where carrying a Louis Vuitton bag is almost basic, and a world where the wealthiest people on earth compete not by showing off what everyone recognizes, but by buying things almost nobody has ever heard of. Because here's the secret: the truly rich don't want attention. They want recognition from other rich people. In this world, logos are out. Exclusivity is everything. Today, we're diving into 15 luxury brands so rare, so exclusive, and so outrageously expensive that even most millionaires don't know they exist. Let's step behind the velvet curtain. 15. Stefano Ricci, luxury turned up to 11. Most men think a $100 tie is expensive. Stefano Ricci laughs at that idea. Founded in Florence, Italy, this luxury menswear house creates some of the most extravagant clothing on earth. Their silk ties start around $250. That's just the warm-up. Limited editions woven with gold thread and precious materials can climb beyond $15,000. But the real magic happens away from the stores. The brand hosts invitation-only experiences at private estates in Tuscany where guests can hunt, dine, and shop exclusive collections unavailable to the public. This isn't shopping, it's luxury theater. 14. Cristofal, the bathtub that costs more than a house. Most people buy silverware. The ultra-rich buy silver bathtubs. Founded in France in 1830, Cristofal has supplied royalty and aristocrats for generations. Its legendary Jardin d'Eden collection includes a handcrafted silver-plated copper bathtub worth around $75,000. And yes, someone has to polish that thing. Every piece requires months of labor from master silversmiths. It's the kind of purchase that makes guests ask, "Wait, is that bathtub worth more than my apartment?" The answer is probably yes. 13. Henry Poole and Company, the tailor that invented the tuxedo. Long before luxury brands dominated social media, there was Henry Poole. Founded in 1806 on London's famous Savile Row, this tailoring house helped create what we now know as the tuxedo. Their clients have included kings, princes, politicians, and business titans. But here's what makes them special. Many wealthy families maintain pattern books here for generations. Grandfather gets measured, then father, then son, then grandson. The measurements become part of family history. That's not fashion, that's legacy. 12. Zai skis, the billionaire's winter toy. To most people, skis are equipment. To Zai, they're artwork. Handcrafted in Switzerland using carbon fiber, stone, titanium, and natural rubber, these skis can cost over $10,000 per pair. Each set takes more than 30 hours to build. You won't find them at your local sporting goods store. You'll spot them in places like Gstaad and St. Moritz, where billionaires go when they need a break from being billionaires. Because apparently, skiing down a mountain isn't luxurious enough unless the skis cost as much as a used car. 11. Brioni, the suit of presidents and power brokers. Brioni doesn't make suits. They create armor for boardrooms. Founded in Rome in 1945, the brand has dressed world leaders, Hollywood stars, and CEOs for decades. A single suit requires more than 220 production steps and over 6,000 stitches. Ready-to-wear pieces begin around $7,000. Bespoke versions can exceed $30,000. When powerful people need confidence stitched directly into fabric, Brioni is often where they turn. 10. Moynant, the luxury brand that refuses to chase fame. Most brands spend millions trying to become famous. Moynant does the opposite. Founded in Paris in 1849, it quietly produces some of the world's finest trunks and handbags. Certain pieces have waiting lists stretching beyond 2 years. No influencer campaigns, no celebrity endorsements, no desperate attempts to go viral, just craftsmanship. Ironically, that refusal to seek attention makes wealthy clients want it even more.
Number 9.
Charvet, the world's most exclusive shirt maker. Ever wondered what a perfect shirt feels like? Charvet probably knows. Since 1838, this Parisian institution has been dressing presidents, monarchs, and diplomats. Their bespoke process involves dozens of measurements in months of work. Some clients even commission fabrics that will never be produced again. Imagine wearing a shirt so unique that literally nobody else on Earth owns the same one. That's the Charvet experience. 8. F.P. Journe, watchmaking royalty. Among watch collectors, F.P. Journe is spoken about with almost religious respect. The company produces fewer than 1,000 watches annually. Each movement is crafted from solid gold. Prices begin around $25,000 and frequently enter 7-figure territory. Waiting lists can stretch for years, and in some cases, getting one isn't simply about money, it's about relationships. In luxury watch circles, owning an F.P. Journe isn't a purchase, it's an achievement. 7. Brunello Cucinelli, the philosopher king of cashmere. Brunello Cucinelli built an empire around an unusual idea: treat workers exceptionally well. The Italian entrepreneur restored an entire village in Umbria and centered production there. His artisans earn above-average wages and work in carefully maintained conditions. The result? Some of the finest cashmere clothing on Earth. Sweaters can start around $2,000. Exclusive pieces can cost much more. Among Silicon Valley billionaires, Brunello Cucinelli has become something of an unofficial uniform. It's luxury with a conscience, and apparently a very expensive one. 6. Bottega Veneta, the art of being recognized without a logo. You may recognize Bottega Veneta's famous woven leather design, but the brand's most exclusive products never make it to the sales floor. Certain collections are shown privately to elite clients in appointment-only rooms. No flashy logos, no giant branding, no screaming for attention. Their philosophy is simple. When your craftsmanship is extraordinary, the product speaks for itself, and wealthy clients love that message. 5. Kiton, the suit that takes more time than some vacations. In Naples, Italy, Kiton creates some of the world's most respected suits. The company produces only about 20,000 annually. Each requires more than 25 hours of handwork, but the legendary K50 line takes things even further. Only around 50 are made each year. Each suit requires more than 50 hours of labor and can cost upwards of $50,000. That's not tailoring, that's wearable art. 4. Buccellati, jewelry that looks impossible. At first glance, Buccellati jewelry looks delicate enough to be lace. Then you realize it's made entirely of gold. Founded in Italy, Buccellati is famous for its intricate engraving techniques that can take months to complete. A single pair of earrings may cost tens of thousands of dollars. Custom creations often reach into the millions. For collectors who believe ordinary diamonds are simply too ordinary, Buccellati is the answer. 3. Loro Piana, the definition of quiet wealth. There are luxury brands, and then there's Loro Piana. The company sources some of the rarest fibers on Earth, including vicuña wool, often called the fiber of the gods. The animals can only be shorn every few years, making the material extraordinarily rare. The brand also produces baby cashmere, harvested only once during a goat's lifetime. The result? Jackets that can cost $20,000 or more. No giant logos, no flashy marketing, just unbelievable quality. It's the fashion equivalent of whispering in a room where everyone else is shouting. 2. Richard Mille, million-dollar watches built like race cars. Richard Mille didn't enter the luxury watch industry, it detonated inside it. The brand combines aerospace materials, Formula One engineering, and futuristic design. Entry-level models often start around $80,000, many exceed $1 million. What makes them extraordinary is durability. Tennis superstar Rafael Nadal famously wore a Richard Mille worth roughly $1 million during matches because it could withstand incredible forces without breaking. For the ultra-rich, a Richard Mille isn't merely a watch, it's a membership card. And Goyard, the luxury brand that doesn't want your attention. And finally, the crown jewel of exclusivity, Goyard, founded in Paris in 1853. No celebrity campaigns, no giant marketing budget. For years, barely any online presence, and yet it remains one of the most desired luxury brands on earth. Its signature hand-painted chevron pattern has adorned the luggage of aristocrats, industrialists, and old money families for generations. Prices begin in the thousands and can climb well into six figures for bespoke creations. The fascinating part, Goyard became legendary by doing the exact opposite of what modern brands do. It stayed quiet, and that silence became priceless.
Final thoughts. The billionaire secret nobody talks about. Here's what's fascinating about all 15 of these brands. None of them are trying to impress ordinary people. They don't rely on giant logos. They don't flood social media. They don't chase trends. Instead, they focus on something far more powerful: craftsmanship, heritage, scarcity, and exclusivity. Because when you're worth hundreds of millions or billions, you no longer need strangers to know you're wealthy. You only need your peers to recognize the signal. And that's the real lesson hidden behind these brands. The loudest luxury isn't always the most expensive. Sometimes the most valuable things are the ones almost nobody notices. And in the world of the ultra-rich, that's exactly the point. If you enjoyed this journey into the secret world of billionaire luxury, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another deep dive. And now I want to hear from you. Which of these brands surprised you the most? And if money were absolutely no object, which one would you choose? Drop your answer in the comments below. Until next time, remember, real luxury doesn't shout, it whispers, and somehow everyone who matters still hears it.